Hello, hello, hello. Good morning once more, my brothers and sisters from Cameroon. This is me again with another video. I hope that you and your family members are well this day. Today's video is going to be talking about how you can add and update textbook information on a CTBN web application using a CSV file. Remember that in the previous video, what we did was we added and we updated textbook information manually. So adding or updating textbook 1, 2, 3, 4, say 5, let's say 6, 7, it's manageable. But once you have tens, uh, 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 tens of academic textbooks each academic year to actually manage or add into the platform, you might see that the manual method of adding it's a bit it's complicated, it's difficult. Now, generally, what you would like to use the manual method for is when you have a textbook you ordered, maybe to fill in a demand and increasing demand in a particular textbook, you would quickly add that textbook. That's simple, or update, right? If you have new entries for that textbook. But if you are initially wanting to add textbook information on the platform, you might want to do that as a block. So if you already have a CSV file or an Excel file of, or really an ODS file, that's for open document format, if you are using LibreOffice on Linux, then you can just or simply modify that file or create a copy of that file, uh, and really format it in a way that CTBN requires, right? Because there's a guideline for you to access or upload rather a CSV file on CTBN. So first of all, let's switch to uh, where you can upload this file. Now, to upload the file on the CSV file on CTBN, you will have to come on the section you want to handle. Really, the section doesn't matter, as you will see in a minute, and you hit import CSV. So when you hit the import CSV, you'll be taken to this file, to this page, sorry, that displays this form. And this form has only one thing you need to upload, and it's the CSV file that contains the information of the textbooks you want on CTBN. Now, there's a powerful note here that says that the textbooks you already have in your account, their information will be updated if the CSV file that you upload has information different from those that are on the CTBN. So to read it clearly, they say textbooks already in your account will have their information updated if they are present in the CSV file with values different from the values they currently have on CTBN. I think that is clear. So before we can upload the CSV file, I would like to quickly switch to the documentation because there are things you need to know, right? Now, in the documentation, what you need to realize is that if you want information about textbooks, right, read about textbook, you come under the textbook pane and you choose add using CSV file. When you click that, you will be taken to this documentation about how to add textbooks using a CSV file. Now, I want you to, this is the section that is very important here, things you should know, and that is the columns of the CSV file. Now, each CSV file that you want to upload to CTBN needs to have exactly 8 columns. So if you already have an Excel file that has textbook information and academic textbook information that has more than 8 columns, maybe there are other fields or other attributes like, let's say, ISBN and any other attribute. You can copy that file, create a copy of that file, and then modify the copy by deleting all the columns that are not required by CTBN and arranging the columns in a way that is expected by CTBN. Now, the first column of the CTBN CSV file you need to upload must contain the name or the title of the textbook. The first. The second column must contain the section of the textbook. Is it a textbook for the English section of education, or is it a textbook for the French system of education. Now, the third column must contain the class. As you will see, I will show you some of the classes right now. But you have the classes, you saw the classes when we were creating manually textbook information on CTBN. But I will show them again later because you can see them on the documentation or in the documentation. Now, the fourth column must be the quantity, the number of copies you have for that textbook. The fifth column must be the unit price of that textbook. Now, the sixth column is the publisher. The seventh column is the author or authors, separated by commas, of course. And you have the eighth column, which is the subject of the textbook, right? Now, there's a very powerful note here again that says that only the textbook in the CSV file, like the only textbooks in the CSV file rather that will be added when you upload the CSV file are those whose section match the section you chose when you created your supplier account. So what this means is that if when you created your account, you said you chose a section of English, the English section. If your CSV file, the CSV file you're uploading to CTBN has both English and French textbooks, only the English textbooks will be added to your account. The French textbooks will be ignored. Now, if you want to change that, you can always go to your account information and update your information and switch to mixed if you want to handle both, right? Because as you can see, it's a supplier account section of mixed matches both English and French. Okay. Now, for those that will want to see a sample of the CSV file, there's a sample CSV file that's available for you on the platform for you to download and see. Okay. We have some tips here, but many of these tips I have said them already. So right now I am going to switch back to rather I'll switch to my spreadsheet application, the one I'm using. Uh, Now, for those that don't know this one is what you call LibreOffice Calc spreadsheet. It's the Excel sibling tool in Linux. It's called Calc spreadsheet. So here, as you can see, this is a sample. They are not real textbooks, right? The first column, which is this one, column A, this one, is obviously the name of the textbook. Column B, which is the second column, is a section. Now, the section, you can have it in lowercase or in uppercase. It doesn't really matter, okay? English or French. Now, the third column is the class, okay? Lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter. But it must respect the classes provided by CTBN, and obviously the classes that CTBN provide are the classes that are on the official textbook list. Okay. After the spreadsheet, I will switch back to the documentation and show you. So column 4 is the quantity for each of the textbooks. Column 5, the unit price for each of the textbooks. Column 6, obviously the publisher. Column 7, the author or authors. You see that there is a space that separates a comma, actually, comma space, like comma and space, that separates the authors when there are more than one. Okay, for it's readable in that case. And now the last column is the subject, lowercase or uppercase, how you want it. Okay, so that's the spreadsheet. That's the CSV file. Actually, if you look at the top, you will see that it's in ODS format, open document format. So I'm going to save it as a CSV file because if you have Excel, then I'm sure you can save it as a comma separated value because CSV stands for comma separated value. So I'll save this as a CSV file, and then I will upload this CSV file to the platform. So I have saved it. Okay, I have saved it to sorry about that. I have saved it to my machine, and now I am going to switch back first to the documentation so that you can see where you can find the names of the textbook. Now, if you come on textbook and you go to getting started, like the introduction page, and you go right down, there are some information. There's some information about textbooks, like the attributes of the textbooks that we collect. Okay, that CTBN needs. The fact that you need to the correctness, like you need to really be careful when you're entering the names on CTBN. They should conform and respect or align with the official textbook list. Again, it is very important because uniformity is the key here. Because if there is no single source of truth, everything is not going to work. Because if there is an error, if you make an error, then your textbooks will never be seen. Because if the parent enters the correct name and you have a bad name, only those that have entered the correct name will be shown to the parent. So for the English section, these are the classes: pre-nursery, nursery 1, nursery 2, class 1 to class 6, from 1 to from 5, lower seat and upper seat. You can put them in lowercase or in uppercase, but they should be this. And then for the French section, you have maternelle, CP, CE1, CE2, CM1, CM2, 6e till terminal. Now, there is usually still, but still well, we are not on the French video here, so I'll leave that for French. Now, again, look here, it's very important because it is recommended that you update the information at the end of every business day so that parents will always see valid information. That's how it happens. That's how that's the one of the discipline disciplinary aspect of digitalization. You have to be disciplined. You have to update every single day. And as I said, you have profiles, supplier profiles. Those are profiles that you can create, accounts you can create to help you manage your textbooks or your reservations. When we'll be talking about reservations, you will get to know about this. So I will switch back to CTBN and we will upload. Okay, I will browse and then get the CSV file I need. Okay, that's the CSV file I just created, and then I will add. When I add, it says I added 8 textbooks successfully. Okay, and you can see the textbooks populated here. Okay, you have the name, the class, the quantity, the unit price, the publisher, the authors, and the subject. Everything has been uploaded successfully to the platform. So if you update or modify any information, because this was adding, right? Let's say you modified, maybe say the quantities of these textbooks. Let's switch back. Okay, let's switch back to CAG, and then I will modify the quantities. Okay, I'll change them. I'll add a one everywhere, so they will be in the hundreds now. Those that are in the hundreds will be in the thousands. Okay, those that are in the hundreds will be in the thousands. So I'll just do this. I'll do this. I'll do this, and then I'll save. Once I've saved it, I have updated the CSV file, right? And then now all I need to do is go back to CTBN, and what do? I just import. Okay, I just import the very CSV file. Nothing else. I just import it, and once I import it, it will tell me that 8 books were updated successfully. So you can update your textbook by simply updating that CSV file and uploading it back to the platform. So you have all the values have been updated. So if you updated any other thing, the unit price, the publisher, the authors, the subject, or anything, but generally what you will always be updating is the quantity. The price will not change. The publisher will not change, the authors will not change, the subject will not change, the class will not change, and the name should not change. The only thing that will change is the quantity, and you should change that at the end of every business day. If any textbooks were sold out, you have to update it at the end of the business day so that parents, when they search, they will always see valid result. As I said, that's one of the things that comes with digitalization. You have to be disciplined. Okay, so that's it. That's really it about adding and updating textbooks or textbook information with a CSV file. I hope that you enjoyed the video and I hope that you will practice it. Now, there is something we call sandbox mode on CTBN. Now, we will talk about sandbox mode in a later video after we have talked about customers and how they can actually add the textbooks in their list or in their book list after they have gotten it from the school. Only after that will we talk about right, right. So that was it. Thank you for listening to the video. I hope that you enjoyed it once more, and I hope to see you in the next video that will be talking about mostly customers now, how they can upload their textbooks for a particular child on the platform using what we call on CTBN a textbook group and launch a search with for that textbook group. So be well and see you soon in the next video. Peace.